Hi, I'm Leather Rock. Welcome to my channel. This is Washington, D.C., and we are in Lafayette Park. Lafayette Park is the closest you're going to be able to get to the White House if you haven't been invited. And it's got a lot of barricades all over because of security being heightened. And of course, we had the presidential inauguration recently, and there's still some evidence of that, even though it was all brought indoors to protect us citizens from the cold. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of Washington, D.C. First thing I want you to note behind me, if you look way behind me at that big pointy thing, you will see the Washington Monument. Okay? Now, I'm going to walk around a statue here, and a lot of this stuff I'm not sure exactly to what it pertains. So, unfortunately, when I was in school, we did not have the greatest of history curriculum. So, General Thaddeus Kosciuszko, I'm sure I'm mispronouncing it. This is the first time I'm finally getting to see a bunch of the monuments that Washington, D.C. is so famously known for. It's always a thrill for me to be here and to see these enduring symbols of our government and of our status in the world. People come here from all over the world to check out Washington, D.C. When you think of United States, there's a few places people tend to think of. New York City, Times Square is one. Hollywood's another, but especially Washington, D.C. Look behind me and to the side of me, and you will see a bunch of things. Now, the mess over here behind me, they're finally taken down. They had made uh, bleachers for people to sit to watch the inaugural festivities, but when it was decided to bring them indoors so that we wouldn't be cold, it was actually ultimately probably not such a good decision because the indoor place that we were relegated to only seated 20,000 people, and there's no way that you can fit the millions who really wanted to be there indoors. Now, since the last time I was here in Washington, they've made so many barricades. Matter of fact, I ran myself afoul of Secret Service one time because I was leaning up against one of the railings. Now, I'm going to show you something that's near and dear to my heart. You look behind me, that horse statue. If you saw on the news when the people were trying to tear down the statue, they put ropes on it and they went on full attack mode, destroying our symbols. And I always loved this particular statue. This is Andrew Jackson. And matter of fact, this was a place I used to like to smoke weed behind. Because even though this is federal property and you're really not supposed to smoke cannabis on federal property because cannabis is still not federally legal. So, and you have different kinds of police here. You've got your Parks Police, you've got your Secret Service, you've got your Metropolitan Police. But if you're behind a metal statue, this is for you stoners out there, find you a metal statue, and instead of bowling it, smoke it in a paper that looks like a cigarette. And even if you had those eagle eye glasses and stuff, you can't really tell what people are smoking. I used to love to get behind the statue here. And I think they may have replaced the base or something because people got kind of close to pulling it down, but the cops stopped the people from destroying it. Now, behind me, you see anything familiar? Anybody familiar? My friend who I'm staying with, he volunteers at the Peace Vigil. I sometimes call it the hippie tent, but that's kind of a little bit flip, because it actually is supposed to be for nonviolence and peace and all that stuff. So, look, they have moved it. They keep on moving this thing whenever security gets real tight and they totally close off the park. Then they move it up back where there is an orange billboard kind of thing. That's where it was before. And that's why I couldn't find it when I was looking for it on the actual day of the inauguration. See, this has been going on a long time. And as long as it's staffed, they can continue to be here. This may be the oldest continually going on act of civil disobedience in Washington, D.C. I don't know, but it very well might be. People are staffing this rain or shine 24/7. There's always somebody here. In the wee hours, if you show up here, there will always be somebody here. It says 43 years this has been going on. You recognize the picture of my friend? He and I have known each other in Hollywood since 1992 at least. So, of course, I would like to add some sides of my own here. I would like to add White Lives Matter, because we do. And, sometimes it doesn't seem too much like it does these days, because there are times where it seems to me that if you look like me, you get the very end of the barrel, and I guess that's reparations. Look at this. Look at all this stuff they were doing. Now, I still wish there would be pro-Israel things here. If you know me, you know I'm a Zionist. You know I respect and support the state of Israel. You don't need to be. Uh, I don't understand how a person can accuse Israel of genocide when they are the ones that have been victims of things. Do people not understand October 7th? Do people not remember the Holocaust? You know, it's how people can ignore those arguably very serious human rights violations and try to say that Israel does not have a right to defend itself. That is just I'm struggling to find the logic here. And people who say they're for peace and yet turn a blind eye to the suffering people in Israel. I don't get it. What part of October 7th do people not understand? What part of people, innocent families, who run to the safety of their bomb shelters in the kibbutz, and they were stumbled upon by these terrible perpetrators of violent death, burned whole families to death. What part of this do you not understand? How can you accuse Israel of genocide when it is the Israelis that have been subject to these things? And it's not. Now, Israel, they adhere to very strict rules of engagement that they are very, very mindful of the sanctity of human life. They go out of their way to minimize, if not totally eliminate, innocent deaths. It's not Israel that hides their bombs and their weapons behind hospitals. It is Hamas that does that. The poor people in Gaza who are innocent and want to escape Hamas will not let them escape. Hamas uses humans as human shields. And every time one innocent Muslim person gets killed, then that is used as an excuse to blame Israel. And now they're enlisting fighters from other countries to join Hamas and the other Muslims that are fighting the Jews. And this is going on, and it's been going on, and it's really sad. It's really sickening. The religion of peace is not peaceful. And I understand probably all religions have had to spread through the sword. It's sad that humanity has not really gotten much past the caveman days. There's still a lot of violence and a lot of domination and a lot of imperialism. Ooh, I see something I would like to get a closer look at. There's somebody put up something up there that says, "Welcome back, Mr. President." And you know what? You know who they're welcoming back. Trumpy. I gotta find out where that is. I would like to see that. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to go further away. Maybe I could see it and show you. Way up there. Look over there. You should see something that says, "Welcome back, Mr. President." Do you see it? And of course, the ground I'm walking on is kind of a little on the muddy side. I'm probably going to mess up my shoes. It's actually feeling a little bit warm right now. If I'd have known it was going to be this nice, I would not have put on jeans, but I figured I'd be sitting around in a bunch of places. I wore a miniskirt yesterday, and I was riding city buses and sitting on a bunch of different surfaces, and I felt a little scuzzy afterwards. And, there's a reason why I don't sit down too much when I'm in Atlantic City, because, I know how dirty surfaces are, and I've seen some of the things that people do to some of those benches. Oh, here's... Oh, hell, wasn't this fun? Liberty in Palestine. I don't think so. Liberty to put on a suicide bomb vest, maybe. There's my horsey man. I was very angry when I saw in the news that people were vandalizing our monuments. And like Trump says, when you do graffiti on limestone, limestone's very porous. It's very hard to get the stains out when people vandalize things. And most of the people doing the vandalism are too young to even know their history. And even if you destroyed all the evidence of history, that doesn't change the past. How can you learn from things if you don't remember what was done wrong and what was done right? You want to learn from your mistakes. You want to vow to be better. And people just they don't learn. You know what they say, people who fail to learn from history will repeat it. And if you try to edit our historical records and so people end up with faulty knowledge of history, then they're not going to appreciate and love our country. And you have to, when you love something, you want to protect it. And we really need more young people to have an honest teaching of history. If you're taught to love this country, then you will protect it. Remember what Ronald Reagan said? Freedom is only one generation away from extinction. And haven't you noticed in recent years with the censorship, the erosion of First Amendment protections? The fact that we can have Silicon Valley influence on our social media, and powerful people can be told by an untrustworthy government to restrict the free speech of its citizens, that should be very concerning to all of you. This is something that we in America, I think we tend to take for granted, that we love our country and we have these freedoms and we can speak a lot more freely even than they can in Europe now. They have these hate speech laws that you can get in trouble for being overly critical of another person's religion, even if you are referring to things like terrorism, violence, raping, different things that are often used during wartime by certain religious people, because, all being about control and things. And I know the struggles that I have had on YouTube with wanting to be able to speak freely, and I have had so many things taken down. And they take things down first. They don't give you a chance to download things back, like in the case of a live stream. Anybody out there creating content, I highly recommend that you download back all your live streams you ever do as soon as possible. That way, if a few years down the road, when YouTube decides that they think that you said something wrong or expressed a wrong thought, and they take your stuff down, in case they decide that you ran afoul of some law, rule, whatever, you can lose your content forever. They took some things down in mine that I really deeply regret. Videos that featured my cats, videos with my mother in them, videos that weren't even political, but maybe somebody asked me a question about the election or Trump or something, and I answered it. And you can get in trouble for one sentence. You can have a video that's several hours long, and you say one thing that's controversial, then, you know. And there's so many people that I met, other YouTubers, when I started frequenting Washington, D.C., that unfortunately their channels have been taken down. It's really sad. They were YouTubers, they're small YouTubers like me, and a lot of them actually had thousands more subscribers and hits than I get, and yet they're not even on YouTube anymore. And these were people, one of the guys that was taken down, he had prayer live streams, okay, and he also did review of news and stuff. I don't believe this guy even got controversial. They took him down. They took a lot of the deplorable community down. They took a lot of Trumpers down. Huh? What?
You got both cat necklaces on.
Yeah.
That's great.
I got 2 kitty cat necklaces. Do you want to know who made them? This man
right
here. He made them. He is a beater and he is an artist. And I'm trying to find some rich, preferably country artist who loves Americana. Put them on to my friend here, who is a painter, a beater, very talented, and all he needs is for the right people to see how talented he is. If anybody deserves recognition, is the man behind me right here. His name is Craig Thompson, and he lives here. I think he loves it here. People, I think, love him.
I have an associate science degree in advertising design from the Colorado Institute, where I transferred to the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale, and I continued with the education at the American Animation Institute because I wanted to do Saturday morning cartoons for the children. But it never worked out. I just drove for a living half my life. Worked syndicated television in Hollywood. It was hard, and I loved it in Hollywood back in 92,
92, yeah.
I'll be with you.
He's good people. And, he had been coming here and he was living here, and I didn't even know he was living here. And I'd been frequenting here. And usually, I would come for things like an inauguration or something, and I would just show up early in the morning, and I'd be a long day, and I would go. They started having more and more events here, especially when the Republicans got back into town. And we had things going on. The Demand Free Speech rally, that was very exciting. And matter of fact, that was held in a secret location. The people, they went to something, there was a free event, and then there was something that you had to get tickets for, and they actually bust you to a secret location because this is when Antifa was tailing us. And we were actually, whenever Trumpers would be in town here, you would have groups of people, gang-like groups. If anybody ever tries to tell you Antifa is just a thought, well, okay, religions are thoughts too, but the people that believe in religions seem to believe in them real, and they use them to raise money, and they build physical buildings to be in. And anyway, Antifa is more than just an idea. When the very people that support it think that it's okay to go target people based on political ideology and just beat them up. You know, even if I saw somebody that was a Marxist, even if I saw somebody that was a member of the Nazi Party, that's still not my business. And it still doesn't give me the right to go and beat his ass just because he may be believing something I might find personally morally abhorrent. You can't beat up people for being in the wrong religion, right? Now, say I met a cannibal. Cannibalism is disgusting. We can agree that there is no such thing as cultural relativism when I don't think most people would invite a cannibalism to dinner. You know, you reverse things, and guess what? It's bad for you. But yet, this happens here in this country that you can't really speak freely without offending certain people. But look at this.
Pastor won $200,000 a year.
Ah,
How much would be a speaking role in the movie? They took a picture. How much did he get? Speaking role.
it depends. It's a per hour thing. I know Screen Actors Guild pays you more. I've had 8 different SAG vouchers, so I've gotten SAG payment for work before. And the thing is, at this point, I'm a must join. If I go back acting in Hollywood, I will have to spend whatever the money is to join Screen Actors Guild, and they won't take it on a credit card. You have to give them a cashier's check or cash or whatever.
There are 30-year-olds in this town that are making $200,000 a year or more. I was told you should always be able to make your year. When you're 20, you should make $20,000 a year. When you're 30, you make $30,000 a year, $50,000 a year. I need to make $64,000 this year. I'm behind. Plus catching up. You just shoot for the stars you never land on the moon.
That's right. Oh, there's that Mr. Welcome back, Mr. President thing. Look at that. Isn't that cool? See, one of the many great things I love about Washington, D.C. is you walk around and you keep on finding things that you hadn't noticed before. And of course, things change a lot too. Like I keep on hearing that certain places I used to go to here are no longer here, I guess due to the pandemic or maybe just the economy. And I was wondering why I was walking around and I hadn't seen a lot of the places that I've gone to, and I just found out the Presidential Scoops place is closed, the ice cream parlor. You know, I still have some red and blue spoons from that, and I have a video where I showed them. Oh, okay, don't let your children see this. There is a lady who is topless here. In case anybody wants to see, this is purely artistic now. This is not anything that should be offensive to anybody. But I am curious to see just how much nudity I can see here. Uh, oh, everybody is naked. Hmm. Oh, I see another. I see some more nudity. Look, I see a boy butt. I'm sorry, I'm a Scorpio. We could be a little juvenile sometimes. Oh, okay. He's got a fig leaf. Fig leaf time. Don't drop your fig leaf, dude. What about the soldier? What's he got? Oh, oh, no. I can't get above it. I can't tell. Kind of a small fig leaf. Oh, I love Washington, D.C. Now, if my friend was walking around here, I can't find him. I don't know where he went. Oh, he's across the street. Okay, well, let's go. Maybe not get run over. Oh, and this is called the Golden Triangle section of Washington, D.C. Oh, and I tell you, they like socialists here. They do. Okay, let's see. Oh, see, that's blocked off. There's another park here. So many parks and things. Welcome back, Mr. President. Oh, isn't that groovy? See, there are a few people who love him. That's groovy, man. All right, I'm going to cut this video short because I want to take some pictures of the president thing, but I hope you enjoy these scenes from Washington, D.C., because I would like to think they're groovy. That I give, this is real reality TV. Most reality TV, it's all edited and they play around and stuff. I show you the real deal, and I hope you know that by now. So, okay, I will talk to you tomorrow with some more scenes from Washington, D.C.